Hey, how you doing? This is Craig back from StopDrinkingExpert.com, and welcome into a short video today because I just wanted to respond to a comment that I saw in the secret Facebook group that is for members of my online course. And I want to talk about failure. I want to talk about relapse, and I want to talk about the mentality of quitting drinking, because I see a lot of people get a successful outcome with my course, and a certain percentage of them will relapse at some point in the future. And it's not the disaster that they make it out to be. And I don't talk about it often because I don't want to kind of set up a self-fulfilling prophecy where I talk about failure in advance and then you automatically fail because I've told you it's not such a big deal. But if you fell off the wagon, it's not great, but so many people just throw the baby out with the bathwater. They go, well, that's it. It's a disaster. I'm obviously beyond help. I'm obviously a terrible person and nothing's going to work for me. And sometimes they get restarted with my course and they do it again, the same course that they had huge success with previously, and it doesn't work. And they think, well, I don't understand. Why doesn't it work this time? And the answer is, you see, when you do it a second time, you've lost a little bit of faith. When you first did it, you were optimistic. You'd never tried this before. It was a brand new attempt. And you'd seen all the positive reviews from other people. You'd seen all the success people around the world. Over 100,000 people quit drinking with this system. And so you were excited and optimistic and you were open-minded. Once you relapse and you go back and do the same course again, the evil clown has some new ammunition against you, has a new weapon. And he's in your ear going, this doesn't work. You know it doesn't work. Because if it worked, you wouldn't have drunk. And, the way I always describe this is that sort of self-talk is nonsense. It would be like, if you got diagnosed with diabetes and the doctor said to you, look, as long as you take the medicine and you eat the right diet, you should have an entirely normal lifespan. You should live just as long as everyone else, as long as you do those two things. So diligently, you ate the right food and you took the medicine every day for several years. And then one day, you had a diabetic flare-up and you felt terrible. You had to take the day off work. You felt awful. You were sleeping all the time. It was just a nightmare. Your response to that would not be to throw the medicine in the bin and say, well, that doesn't work. I'm just going to eat what I want from now on. You wouldn't do that, would you? You would understand that you had a flare-up and you dust yourself down, hope that it doesn't happen again soon, and continue doing what you did before that was working fine. That should be your mentality with my Stop Drinking course. If you have a relapse, then try and be pragmatic about it. Look at it like this. You just learned another way that the evil clown can twist your arm and get you drinking again. Analyze the situation. How did he motivate you to drink? Dust yourself down and start again. Now, let me show you this post that I want to comment on. This was posted up in the secret Facebook group earlier on today. Obviously, I've blanked out who said it for privacy reasons. But it says, Craig, I know this page is for positive reinforcement, which is a good thing. But for those of you still struggling and are back at day one, like me, unfortunately, I wrote this morning on day one again. For some reason, my brain hasn't got it. I did it with smoking, but for some reason, it hasn't yet with drinking. I will redo Craig's course starting today. And you can tell he's in a bad place, from his further comments. He's in a pretty dark place about this. Let me just, mention the smoking thing. There is a difference between smoking and alcohol. The world has kind of changed with regards to cigarettes. It's now seen as an antisocial habit. If you want to smoke, you go and stand outside in the cold and you smoke on your own. It's pretty much regarded by most people as an antisocial habit, whereas alcohol is still very much considered to be a part of the fabric of life. You tell someone that you're going to give up smoking cigarettes, chances are they'll probably say, oh, good for you. And they'll mean it. You tell someone you're giving up alcohol, and a little bit of them will be like, oh, poor you. life's not going to be so much fun anymore, is it? There will be that kind of sympathy for you, like, oh, poor you can't drink this amazing stuff. So there's a mentality difference between smoking and alcohol for a start. Now, what I would say to this guy here posting is, look, do the course again, but don't just do the course again as you did it before. You're going to need to add in some more elements. You're going to need to make it the course plus plus. All right. So go in with full passion and commitment. Give it 100%, but do more than you did the last time. How do you do more? Well, just first of all, make sure you're doing everything to the letter that I'm telling you to do. Daily hypnosis, use the craving control techniques, using the tapping therapy, but also bring in the extra material that I advise you to bring in. Read the good books on this. Get a different perspective. You need to be, for the next 2 weeks, 21 days, something like that, you need to be OCD about getting it into your head that this is nothing but attractively packaged poison. So every spare minute, you should be absorbing something. There's some great books out there you can read. Annie Grace, William Porter, Alcohol Explained 1 and 2. Dr. David Nutt has one called Drink, which just talks about the health effects of alcohol. It's excellent. Be listening to audiobooks, watching YouTube videos, and reading books. Now, this is important. If you get to the end of that process and you're still drinking, then do something different. My course works, but not for everyone. That would be arrogant, and it would be dishonest to claim that the way I approach this works for everyone. It doesn't, because everyone's drinking for different reasons. Everyone's carrying different baggage, and everyone learns differently. And, you know, people think that I'm very anti-AA. I'm not. It's just not right for me. It was terrible for me. I hated it because I didn't want the label. I didn't want to have to stand up and call myself an alcoholic, because the implication is that I'm broken, and I know I'm not. I know the fault is not with me. It's with this drug. I didn't like the religious aspect of it. I didn't like the assumption that I am unfixable and I will spend the rest of my life unfixable. So AA didn't work for me. But there are thousands of people out there who have had their lives saved by AA. Equally, I talk about drugs, you know, prescription medication. And it doesn't make any sense to me to take a drug to deal with the drug problem. And the side effects from the drugs for me were too horrendous. So taking prescription medication didn't work for me. But there are thousands of people out there that swear by it. So who's right, me or them? And the answer is we're both right. And so what I want to make clear to you is, look, if you keep having repeated failures to get sober, change something. Don't keep doing the same thing over and over again and then beating yourself up because you couldn't do it or it didn't work. If you did my course a couple of times and it didn't work for you, then do something different. Go to AA, or go to your doctor, or go and find a specialist doctor that deals in something like the Sinclair method, which is the use of naltrexone to inhibit the kind of opioid effect of the drug. And you might say, well, Craig, you've criticized the Sinclair method. And again, I'll remind you, I've criticized it in the context of me. It doesn't work for me. On my personality, on my character type, didn't work for me at all. But type it into Google right now, the Sinclair method, you will find thousands of people declaring it to be their savior. So I'd encourage you, if you're hitting a brick wall over and over again, don't keep doing the same thing. Twist and turn and change, and never stop doing that. Never give up. You will find something one day that works perfectly for you. And I don't care what it is. It could be my method or it would be something completely different. I don't care, as long as you find the thing that works for you. But never, ever beat yourself up and blame yourself for this. As long as you give it 100% commitment and you do what I tell you to do, then it's not your fault. You just need something else. Now, I say, I put that proviso in there because you wouldn't believe the number of people I get who sign up for the course, never even look at it, and then complain that it didn't work. Or you get people who sign up for the course, half-heartedly got halfway through, didn't do any of the exercises, and say, this is terrible, it doesn't work. Because often people are looking for plausible deniability. So they can lie to themselves with conviction and say, well, it's, I've tried and nothing works. And often they're using signing up for a course like mine to lie to their partner. I promise you I'll do something about this. So they sign up to the course, show the receipt to their partner, say, look, I'm trying, but that's as far as they want to go. So I hope that encourages you to keep going. You're not a failure. You're not a bad person. You're not a broken person. This is a very powerful drug that knows exactly what it's doing. So cut yourself some slack, take the pressure off, dust yourself down, and try something different. Hope that helps. If you are watching this video now and you are worried about your drinking, why not go to my website, stopdrinkingexpert.com, sign up for today's free webinar, and I'll give you a copy of my best-selling book, Alcohol Lied to Me, as a gift just for turning up. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to like this video and hit that subscribe button and bell so you get updates when I release a new video.